Good morning, everyone. Currently, my wife and I are taking care of the dog of one of the dog owners somewhere around our block. So that person isn't our friend, but obviously, my wife and I would do anything to help out when it comes down to a dog. The dog mother broke her leg or has an injury in her leg. And because there is so much snow outside, she cannot kind of walk her dog and risking maybe breaking something else. That is why my wife and I currently are helping out and are walking her dog, which, as you can see here in the B-roll, is somewhat triggering my memories of my dog Happy, who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago with a very respectable age of 17 and a half years. So she was in our lives for a very long time. Happy was my wife's dog, and when we got together, obviously, I became a gang member, so to say, and Happy was my boss in a way. She was a very characterful dog, and I miss her a lot. And again, kind of walking this small dog. Obviously, they are not the same, but and Woody. I love Woody, but Woody is a big dog. Obviously, he doesn't trigger that many memories of Happy. So this dog being basically the same size as her kind of triggers a lot of happy memories, no pun intended, of my dog Happy. And yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about this because I feel like for people who don't own dogs, but also for people who own dogs, there is so much emotional connection to a dog and a cat compared to maybe something like fish. I'm not disrespecting fish as pet at all, but I do feel like, especially I did own fish when I was a kid. It is very hard to kind of get an emotional connection to a fish, whilst a dog has a lot of communication with their face, with how they act, and they give back a lot of love, but also communicate a lot about what's going on with them. And this kind of sparked this thought process and something that I kind of wanted to talk about, because I do see it with other people that I'm heavily criticizing and where I am really annoyed by people somewhat not respecting their dogs. Again, the big point here is that dogs have a very good emotional communication towards you as the owner, and I at least built a lot of like emotional connections to my dog, and I sometimes am really sad because, as you were able to see in the B-roll, it is winter. And in Germany, at least in the state where I'm living at, kind of using salt for snow is actually prohibited. It is not good for the environment, but more importantly for dog owners. If you didn't know, the salt is really painful for the dog. So imagine going barefoot on snow. So the cold attacks your bare feet, then the ice kind of scratches up your bare feet, and then the salt makes it burn. So it is really, yes, they have a little bit more protection obviously than human bare feet, but still it is painful for dogs. Woody, for example, yesterday wasn't able to continue walking because it was so painful for his feet. Then our neighbors, or a friend of my wife who has a Shih Tzu as well, her dog was crying out in pain a couple of days ago with that salt. Now, getting to the topic that I want to talk about is my neighbor, my next door neighbor, who we share basically our front area. We who also owns a dog. We told him multiple times, please do not use salt. A, it is prohibited. B, it's not good for our dogs. Please do not use it in front of our door, and especially not in not in front of the street where our dogs are walking, but especially not in front of our front door. And he completely disregarded that, threw salt right in front of our door, and we were rightfully so angry about that because it is our front door. Why are you throwing salt on that? And he's like, okay, we need to be careful with slippery, but and our dogs need to be, they need to, oh, what's the English word? They should be all good. They need to be, I don't know how to say it in English. We shouldn't baby them too much, and everyone else is using salt as well. And we told him that might be true, that some people still disregard the law, and we cannot control what everyone else is doing. But at least in front of our own door, we want to protect our dog. And just because you don't mind that your dog might be in pain, which is a completely different discussion here, we don't want that. And I do see it so many times now. Last year, for example, I was at an office, and there was this dog, and there was some catering, which also included cinnamon rolls. And for those of you who don't know, cinnamon and sugar and chocolate is poisonous, is toxic for dogs. So this dog came in. I would have stopped the dog, obviously, but my back was turned towards the table. I didn't know that there was a dog in the office, and that dog ate 2 cinnamon rolls. And I only heard it after he ate the first one, and he was already almost finishing the second one. And I was like, I hear a noise, and then I turned around and was like, oh no, a dog ate the cinnamon rolls, the 2 cinnamon rolls that were there for client catering who are about to come. And I was like, go searching for the owner, and told him, oh no, your dog ate 2 cinnamon rolls. I don't know, maybe you should go to the doctor with the dog. And he was like, oh no, she does that sometimes, and she's going to puke, and that's all right. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? I mean, that's A, toxic, and B, so this is not the first time. So why don't you take care more of your dog? Long story short, she actually puked into the office, and I'm like, how? Why are you so inconsiderate of all of your coworkers, but more importantly of your family member, where you actually know that she eats stuff like that if you don't take care of your dog? Other thing about the office also that I notice, people bring their dogs to the office, and I always look at dogs. I just love dogs, and I always look and I notice stuff. And I'm sitting there in this big office, and I see that dog. I come to the office at 10 o'clock, see that dog sitting there, 12 o'clock, still sitting there, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, not going outside, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And I'm like, what the hell? You don't go out with your dog at least once? I want to see you sitting in an office, drinking and having breakfast, drinking your coffee, then go to your office and let me put a gun to your head and tell you, oh, you're not going to go to the bathroom for 6 to 8 hours. What the hell is wrong with you? And that is something that makes me really mad with people, dog owners in particular, who are so careless with their dogs. And again, going back to the beginning, dogs have they are very communicative in a way. that I, at least, build a very strong emotional connection to my dogs. And for me, a dog is like a child. And maybe for all of you who have children, I'm not saying that to disrespect you. I'm just saying a dog is like a family member. And a dog you need to think about hard if you can take care of a dog in your life. Do you have the time? Do you have the emotional capacity? Do you have the financial capacity to take care of a dog? And most people, I would say 8 out of 10 times, they don't. And when they get a dog, they just don't have time or money or the emotional capacity, and most of the time all three, to take care of the dog. And being so disregardless or disrespectful towards the dogs and towards the needs of their dogs and not being protective is something that I just don't understand. Again, and this is a bad example, and I know that this is a terrible example, but and I don't want to disrespect fish at all, but for me, I feel like, okay, if it's a fish where it just in air quotes, and I'm oversimplifying here, it just swims around a tank, and it doesn't make such an emotional connection to you like with the dog. I'm not excusing this, but I can kind of see that, oh, okay, maybe you forget about it. And I'm not justifying that. I'm just saying, from a rational standpoint, I kind of get it. But with the dog, who basically tells you, oh, I'm hungry, or I need to go outside pee, or I'm puking here right now in the office because I ate something toxic because you just didn't take care of me or didn't kind of look out what I'm doing. Hence, you are very disrespectful because my health is at risk, and now I'm puking in front of the desk of your coworker. Is something I just don't understand. And it makes me so sad. And yeah, again, this pivoting from my memory about happy is just something where I kind of remembered, oh, I have such an emotional connection to my dog, and I just sometimes don't understand why other people don't have that, or kind of forget about that the dog is their family member. Yeah, that's just something that I wanted to rant about. Anyways, I need to go to the gym now, and if you want to see the last video, check it out up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. Comment below if you also have a dog, and maybe consider subscribing by clicking the button up here. And yeah, please take care of your dog. Thank you very much.